Hey guys, into week two, I guess. Into week two, beginning of week three for Louis. I sent you a video of him at PetSmart in Franklin. He did fantastic. Um, we learned a lot in that session. I wanted to talk to you about, and this will kind of set you up for when he gets home. So now that we're getting into the home stretch, coming up on week three, I'm gonna spend more and more time. We've talked about this a little bit, but more and more time talking about uh, what life will look like when he gets home, and what you guys will need to do to make sure that all this transfers over. Because for in 2 weeks from when we got him, just a total pinball, just brain everywhere, going all kinds of directions, the barking, the pulling, all that good stuff. So, healing him around PetSmart off leash, I think we've made some pretty good progress. We got more things to learn and more work to do and more progress to make in the next week, of course. But we're doing really good. But so we learned some stuff. So okay, so when he comes home, this is the case for all dogs. It's definitely the case for him. We've talked about this a little bit, so pardon any redundancy here or reiteration. By the way, we're watching the Cubs right now. It's on commercial. He's hanging out, just chilling here in the living room. He's dragging around a short leash. He's got an antler that he's chewing on that he loves. He's got some toys collected there that he likes on the things that are here. But he's just hanging out, just chewing on a toy. We're not seeing, you'd sent me a video of him zooming around. We're not seeing that. Energy level, everybody, it's very common, not everybody, it's very common that folks will set their dog home. Well, I'm just surprised that his energy level is different. Doesn't seem so rambunctious and anxious and zoomy all the time and things like that. And that's a lot because we show them ways to kind of target their energy and we work their brains, and that helps kind of take the edge off. So anyway, so let's talk about when he comes home, because this is important. And this is the case for every dog, like I was saying, but definitely these, what we call kind of working breed, power breeds, whatever you want to call it. You've got a pit bull boxer mix, all right? So drivey dog is the idea what I'm talking about. Drivey dogs that are, there are some breed characteristics and genetic characteristics and personality traits that we see. They're very much controlled by, naturally they're controlled by the world around them. So, stimulus comes in, they react. That's why these dogs are so, quote, reactive, because that's just the way their brains work. That's the way they're wired. Stimulus comes in, they react to the outside world. That's just the natural thing. That's what he's done. That's why you described when he walks. He barks at everything. In the house, barks at everything. The wind blows, he barks. All the barking, that's a result of. So so have that in the back of your mind as we talk about what life will look like when he comes home. Okay, so we're working him through all these different obedience things, everything structured around the walk and the recall. Those, there are basically three pillars to what we do. Walk politely on the leash with me, come when I call you, and if I say leave something alone, leave it alone. We teach sit, we teach down, we teach place, we teach play, we do enrichment, we play ball, we do all that stuff. But the longer I train, the more I do this stuff, I figured out that what my customers want is their dog to walk politely on a leash, come when they're called, and when you say leave something alone, leave something alone. So that's what we do. Hey, leave it. Okay, so he hears my dogs upstairs, the kids are upstairs with our dogs, and so he's kind of, hey, Louie, come. Good boy. Okay, so he's, sorry for that close-up. So he's kind of, focused on, there's some kids upstairs and our dogs upstairs. Anyways, so we were working on all these things, but he's got three jobs. Walk with me, come to me. When I say leave something alone, leave it alone. So we just went through that. So you just got to kind of in real time, you get to see me. He fixated on something upstairs. I told him to leave it. I told him to come to get his brain on me, his handler, versus whatever external thing, competing reinforcer is going on upstairs. Okay, so I just want to interrupt that unwanted behavior, give him something to focus on, which is me, his handler. And now he's back to chewing his bone, right where he was right before. So we want to proactively intervene on that stuff. Okay, that's not the point on this, but a little bonus talk because it just happened. Okay, when he comes home, he's going to know all this stuff. He knows how to walk. I mean, you saw in our video, He knows how to walk politely on or off leash. He knows how to come when called. He knows how to leave stuff alone. There's cats there at the pet store and birds in cages right at the end of the aisle and all kinds of stuff to be distracted by. People and smells and sights and sounds and all that stuff. So he did really well. Okay, so what's the point? I've spent 5 minutes setting this up. When he comes home, you've got your book, I hope. We talked about that. And we're going to give you a 2-week success plan that I need you to follow to the T. I need you to pretend like he didn't come here and that he doesn't know the things that he knows, because he's going to come home ahead of the curve, ahead of you in the learning process. I know you've been walking him. I know you guys have been doing a lot of practice, and that's fantastic, and that's going to really help. But here's what you need to know about your dog. He is going to test every single handler that touches the leash to make sure that that person knows what they're doing and has the same rules. Okay? It's substitute teacher syndrome. You know, there are kids in your class coming up, or kids in your kids' classes, or maybe your kid or whatever, but you know what I'm talking about. They have one level of respect for the teacher and a different level of respect for the sub. Maybe between you and your spouse. You know, I follow the rules one way with mom and one way with dad. Maybe with grandma. You get the idea. You understand what I'm saying. Some dogs are more this way than other dogs. You know, our softer dogs, you know, our poodles and doodles and googles, and, you know, a lot of these dogs are soft, and, you know, once they get it, and they're just eager to work and happy to please. Some dogs are more... dominant's the wrong word. They're persistent, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. We don't need to attach a value statement to it. But the point is, some dogs just make you earn it. So what am I getting at? So that's what we learned tonight. So I've been Louie's primary handler. Jennifer handles him a fair amount, takes him on walks and takes him bathroom trips and plays with him and things like that. But tonight was the first outing that she did with him. So he behaved for her in the beginning kind of poorly, because he did not believe that she was going to enforce the rules. So no big deal. We worked through it in a very short amount of time. And as you saw from the video, he fell in line because she's able to communicate with him in a way that showed him, hey, the rules apply when I'm on the end of the leash just like they do when James is on the end of the leash. So it's going to be really essential, really, really, really critical that you follow the 2-week success plan and keep the structure in place, keep the rules in place, all the things that we are doing here. You really, for the first few weeks of him coming home, just a few weeks, for those early few weeks, you really need to pretend as though you're doing board and train, like nothing has changed. The rules haven't changed. The structure hasn't changed. The work routine hasn't changed. And so he's going to more quickly fall into line. I need you to follow the success plan as it's laid out. Don't skip ahead. Every once in a while, somebody will get their dog home on a Saturday, and on a Sunday, they'll text me and they're like, we're at PetSmart and he's acting like he never learned anything. You know, he's not ready to go to the pet store with you the next day after he gets home. So we got to work through the program, especially with a guy like him. Again, sweet as can be, but very persistent, very opinionated, and very much into his own thing. So we just got to follow the program. If you'll do that, just take those first few weeks and pretend like it really is a continuation of board and train. Get him to fall in line. Do our go-home sessions, get to alumni class, lock all this stuff in place, and he will be good to go. It's a long video, a lot of talking. Hopefully you're getting to the end and hanging with me here. I think it's important stuff, and I'm desperately committed to you guys being successful and winning and, you know, getting the return on the investment that you've made, time, financial, et cetera, and this is the way it happens. So let me know if you have any questions about this. We'll talk a lot about it on your go-home session. I'll be in touch with you in the coming days so we can get that set up and get a time to get that. We'll need a couple hours at least to do the go-home session. So start looking at your calendar and thinking about when we can get that done. It'll be Memorial Day weekend, which is totally fine for us. So let me know. That's all I got. Thank you.